Welcome back yet again to another edition of the Bibs Corner podcast. And this time we are back with a guest, someone who has not been on this new season yet, but will be on multiple times throughout the year. One of my favorite collaborators, Shad Miller of Shad versus Smiles. How you feeling, Shad?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, like he said, Shad vs. Smiles podcast, the Uncle Urban on YouTube. There's a few interviews I haven't dropped yet because one of them is pretty funny, and I'll just get this story real quick before we start.
Okay.
I got to interview Mac McClung,
Okay.
and it was a good interview up until the point I joked about Riff Raff, and he didn't like that too much.
Sound like you didn't do your research, Wes.
I knew that wasn't really his cousin, that man was just claiming him out of nowhere. So I joked with him because I've seen people joke about it with him.
All right, and he didn't respond adversely to those other people doing.
No, yeah, exactly. He was like, yeah, that's funny, but he's not my cousin. Me, he just straight stale faced me. That's my cousin. And I was like, wow, okay.
That's tough. Yeah, especially if he was cool previously. Like that's tough. All right, that's definitely should be interesting. Hopefully you got some good stuff out of that. And that's the Uncle Urban on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So again, you got your hands in a lot of pots. G League, local Dallas entertainment, and shit, I just messed up myself. I was reading something.
All good.
I was reading something. I was like, oh damn. No, but we bring you on for these movies, for these shows. And when Bel Air dropped, I knew I had to get you on for that. I knew you were gonna be watching. I knew I had to get you on. I feel like you're gonna bring some interesting stuff to the table that I personally probably would not bring up. And I hope that we get a nice discussion out of it. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. So first thing I want to ask you before we get into it, I know you were already on it with the trailer. I know you were on following the process like I was. So far, has it lived up to your expectations? Has it exceeded them? Has it fallen short? Or how are you feeling about it so far?
It definitely exceeded the fan-made trailer. I'm glad that Will Smith picked up. I can't think of that young man's name right now. But I'm glad
that he's playing him.
No, not the guy that's playing Will, but the guy that made the fan-made trailer that inspired
Morgan Cooper.
Morgan Cooper. Yeah. I'm glad that Will not only got him involved, but took it as an inspiration. For me, I'm glad I didn't stupidly do what most people do when a quote unquote reboot happens and just was like, oh man, this ain't gonna be like this.
Right.
Only thing I had about that was the characters. But we're gonna get into that later. But other than that, the stories are very modern and very up to date because we know some people who do some Carlton-like things, and we know some people that know how to rock the party like Will, and we definitely know some politicians like Phil. So it was not meant to rhyme, it just rhymed, y'all. This ain't, I'm not doing it because this is Bel Air and
Bars.
I like the Fresh Prince, you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, but no, it really did exceed my expectations in these first 4 episodes. I really thought it was decently written. I won't say well written, oh my God, I was captivated by this. It was more like, okay, this story is flowing a little bit nicer, but episode 4 does bring me to arise a question. But we'll get into that later.
Okay. I think so far for me, I would say coming into it, you're bringing in all the weight of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air and trying to live up to that. And, these characters that are iconic, like everybody knows these characters, everybody knows the actors, actresses, the faces, the moments, like they quote it, all that good stuff, and I feel like that's such a heavy thing to carry coming into a show. Like most shows, you come in and it's a new story, you're learning the characters and whatnot, but these people had to come out here knowing, I'm Will Smith, I'm Uncle Phil, I'm Aunt Viv, and that's a lot of weight. And I feel like so far they've done a great job of doing their own thing while also paying homage to the original, the inspiration, I guess, for this story. And as far as the storylines, I'm sucked in. Like I'm genuinely sucked into several of the storylines, and I'm not sitting here anticipating or waiting for certain things from the previous show, the sitcom, to come up at this point. Like I'm just following the story as it goes. So I'm glad for that personally. Let's get straight to the pilot. So, what were your first thoughts? Opening scenes.
I was just about to.
Will in Philly, like where you at?
Look, you know me, signature hand rub. I started smiling because the first thing you hear is J. Cole. And if you all know that song, the first thing he says is first things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. And when they played that, I was like, okay, Will. Okay, Will, good touch. Without having to do like they did in the HBO Max series. They didn't do a full montage of we dedicate this to James Avery. They just gave you that small little tone.
Right.
And I liked the Black Panther inspired intro as well. It's not the actual intro for the show because there is no real intro. There is no real intro for the show.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to play it every single time, but they haven't.
Yeah. I actually like how they open the shows. They give you the dialogue, kind of what's about to happen, and then they just cut to the title page, and then they go on with the show. So yeah, I like how it starts. But yeah, that opening scene, I knew it was something different. And the only thing is, why does every Philly story start with the same song? Every Philly story starts with Freeways, What We Do. That's how you know you in Philly for real.
It's the anthem. Like you got to play it. Like it's mandatory. Like I want to say Abbott Elementary might have started with it if I recall.
I might have to look back at that episode because I gotta look back at the
Abbott, I don't think Abbott played it yet. I don't think they did it yet. But no, but
I think my girl was playing that in the car with Zach Fox when he dropped off.
That's what they should have been playing, but no,
he called her a bull when she came out the car. all right, young bull.
It's one of those things where you know how you get the establishing shot for a sitcom or something. They showed a picture of the house. And they ain't nowhere near that house, but you see the house and you just instantly say, oh, they in that house right now. That's what that song is. Like you hear that song, you're like, all right, I'm in Philly.
I'm obviously in Philly. Like I said, I just love the undertones. He was just like Will. He had the kicks. He had the Eagles jersey in the back. All the West Philadelphia signage on the walls. Like it was very Philly. Another thing was his interaction with his mom, because if you remember the original show, he loved his mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the first few minutes, I was like, this is keeping along with the tradition, but this is going to be something different.
No, definitely. And I like that you mentioned, this is Will. I said it in my previous little quick review or whatever, that there are moments when he sounds like Will. You can feel Will's presence, but again, I don't feel like he's trying.
Yeah,
all the time. Which I like. Like I like that there's a little bit of Will there, but he's still himself at the same time. And again, I think he's doing a great job of pulling that character off, even though this is a drama versus it being a comedy. He's doing a good job of balancing some of the humor and whatnot.
Jabari Banks is killing this, dude. Jabari's killing this. Like I said, the Philly when people use certain slang or dialects from other cultures, it sounds so crazy. But him saying bull, like he's using like all their slang, how he eats. They talk about how they eat their Philly cheese. One of the things that they had, the water ice, ad in the back when they were walking to the bus stop or whatever. Like it was just those subtle hints that I enjoyed, because I'm like, okay, that's what got me in. I was like, okay, they're really in Philly.
Yeah. And again, and the main thing for me is that it didn't feel forced. Like you said, like, it was natural. This is how they would be. This is how they would act, the way he interacted with his neighbors and stuff. Him and his friend, like they had maybe 10 minutes together on screen, and I believed in their friendship. Like,
and I'm gonna get into the names too.
Okay.
I love there's something I'm just gonna go into,
Go ahead.
like I said, since we're in the pilot, I'm gonna stay in the pilot.
Okay. All right. So you
Everybody, okay. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this in chronological order.
Okay.
So Trey is obviously based off of Ice Trey, which was played by Don Cheadle. So
Right.
I really did. So I really enjoyed that they kept that name. And again, that was his boy who was trying to make sure. But instead of him being the older guy who kept Will out of trouble, they were there for each other to keep each other out of trouble.
Right.
Like he played basketball with them,
Mm-hmm.
and they made sure that they kept their head above water. The only thing that Trey had was that gun.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. That's when I was like, oh yeah, this really is Trey then. Because Trey was up there getting in trouble and doing the things, and pretty much the reason that Will ended up in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And again, I like the way they handled that, even because Trey only did that because he knew they were about to go into a stupid situation. He tried to tell Will, let's not do it, but he was like, if we're going to do it, then we're going to be prepared.
Yeah.
And like we learn, like we hear later, that was the escalator. You probably didn't need to go that far, but the idea of where it came from made sense on the surface. Like it wasn't forced. It wasn't, oh, I got the blicky on me. Like it was like, look, I got this thing for protection, and both of them were. You could tell both of them were uncomfortable. Like
this is the thing. I'm glad you said that, because yes, for people who haven't watched it yet, yes, Will made sure he was that Jabari Banks was true to character. No, Will Smith is not a gangster in this.
Right.
Like he up there just carrying that thing on him, and then he a dope dealer at night, but he's playing basketball for his school in the daytime. Like it's not
and getting straight A's. Like yeah,
and getting straight A's. Like nothing's going on.
No, it felt authentic, because this is a common story in the hood. The good kid, the kid that's gonna get out. People try to test him, try to question his street credibility. They call him college boy, like it's an insult somehow. And he, as a person who's about to leave the city, he's, you're feeling that pull, like, this is where I'm from, this is who I am, I'm about to leave, and they claiming I'm not really repping like that. And he took the bait and felt like he had to, defend his honor.
Because basically how it started was, like I said, I can't remember the character's.
I can't remember the character's name,
but he basically was like, "Oh, you think you better than us?" and all types of things like that. But if I hadn't went to juvie, I'd be you right now. And of course, you've heard that all the time,
a million times.
If I hadn't went to jail, or if I hadn't got,
I didn't do XYZ,
I would have been you.
Yeah.
So you think you better than me because you didn't mess up like I did. So you had that, and that's the only reason they got into the squabble. Right. At the ballpark, because he got him.
Jealousy.
Will was schooling him on the court. Right. Like that's what happened. Right. Like he broke his ankle so nasty. He couldn't do nothing. Then dude threw the ball at Rashad. Of course, I remembered his name. They gave him my name. So because I remember his name, because they gave him my name. So I was like, so he threw the ball to Rashad. Who threw that? Of course, he not gonna own up gangster. To it. Him not playing gangster, he ran.
Right.
So he looking at, because Will and Trey are laughing and being like, I can't believe we got him. And he wanted his money.
Right. And I couldn't tell if he was paying up or not. I know he turned around and digging the bag, but I couldn't tell if
he was about to give him his money.
Okay.
Until he threw that ball at him.
Until the ball hit him, yeah.
And then he was like, who did that? They still up there high-fiving and stuff. So Will, again, like you said, oh, I'm not scared. Like, you crazy? I'm from here too. This is my hood too.
Right.
So he bucked up to him. I'm still looking at him like, you went try to go toe to toe with a drug dealer, like he was gonna make it out that thing, like he was gonna make it out the parking lot. Right. I was like, wow. Okay.
You got to have some kind of thinking right now, like self-preservation, my guy. Like you are. It's you two versus everybody out here. Like you got to relax.
Yeah. But, so of course, like Trey got stomped out, and
what was Will supposed to do? Like Will.
Like, of course, he said, yeah. He was like, okay, I gotta go in the bag.
On you, like I'm supposed to be down there too.
So he up there, he shot the gun in the air. And then when everybody scattered, he pointed at Rashad, and Rashad said, The line you
I
never
was about
want
to
to
say,
hear.
yeah.
You better use it. I was, oh. That's what look. That was the only reason I was glad the cops came. I said,
Right.
if they write this to where Will actually capped somebody, and that's why he went to Los Angeles,
that would have really been some stuff.
that would have been a one. That would have been a 180. I would have never saw.
Whoa,
coming.
this is went a whole other way. Like he had witness protection. Like what's going
wait
on?
a minute, Will caught a body, and his mom got him a plane ticket.
And mom got scared. No, I was scared.
No, mom didn't get scared. Mom got smart. She got to get
Right.
you. Look, you
you
got 48 hours. You know, they find some
man.
people in 48 hours. You got to go. But yeah, basically, like I said, it hit on the common things of the hood mentality, and then it went straight into police brutality.
Yeah.
Something that was actually in the original show for people who remember, like the famous scene where Jazz was at the stand with his hands up, said, "If I put my hands down, I'm getting not was it 6-1 shots in my back.
Shots in my back. Yeah.
I'm putting my hands down like it." So yeah, they talked about this stuff when they got pulled over and thrown in jail. Like I said, police unfairness has been something, and actually was funny. It's a recurring thing in the series.
Yeah, and we'll get to what happens later with it as well. All right, so we got the park scene. We got Will in Philly. He gets in trouble with the law. He goes to jail. He's probably about to get beat up in the jail. But then he gets bailed out of the blue, and he's forced onto a plane.
And now of course, the first thing that is said that Rashad yells out that he snitched. Because if you ever get bailed out early or you don't even see a judge, it's not that somebody had pulled.
Right.
It's that you read it.
Yeah.
And I found that funny because Will was literally in there like zonked out.
I was about to say, like, he's been there the whole time. Like, y'all looking dead at each other. Like, when did he have time to say something to somebody? Like,
did he say something in his sleep? Like, what happened? Did he write a note and then slip it to the guard? Like, this is what happened, and this is the names of the people that were there. Like, there was absolutely no reason to say that. But yeah, he just kept yelling that and saying that he was gonna see him when he saw him. But like you said, fast forward to his mom saying, "Oh, you're not going home. You're going to the airport, and you're going to LA." So this is where everything gets interesting. Okay, this is where I'm like, this is kind of odd.
How'd you feel about Jazz?
Thank you. You know where I was going. Jazz got introduced as like a music guy, DJ, so on and so forth. Teaching.
Uber driver.
Yeah. I'm like, and this, he's an Uber driver / record store owner. And I was like, well, the first Jazz taught Ashley how to play the drums. This guy just happens to be dropping Will off at not only Bel Air, but his new start in life.
Yeah.
And they become that must have been one heck of a ride because they became like tight.
I mean, I didn't do the Google Maps on how far it is from the airport to
from LAX to Bel Air.
But
it's some life stories change right there. Because
they got real close real quick.
Because I'm like, Jazz's character's from Compton. Like, of course, the real Jazz is from Philadelphia as well. But Jazz's character's from Compton.
Right.
He's obviously from West Philadelphia. So I'm like, what did you guys have in common in that?
Every hood is the same. Remember, every hood is the same.
Oh, you fast forwarding, dog. Yeah.
That's foreshadowing.
You got to the end already. That was, you know,
but he recognized his accent. That was the best line. I think that was one thing.
Yeah, he did. But no, that was like probably one of the best lines so far in the series when he said every hood is the same. And I was like, that's something I tell people, like when I go to California, when I go to Louisiana, New Orleans, or things like that. Man, how you go around in these neighborhoods now? Say every hood is the same.
Yeah.
I wear an Oak Cliff hat proudly. They say, Oak Cliff, that's my hood. They dap me up and they say, man, you stay safe out here. And I'm like, hey, man, you too. And I go about my day.
Yeah.
They understand. Oh, he really from there then. Look, I'm not looking. I don't claim Oak Cliff, and then I'm from like Highland Park or Plano or something. Like people know. Not really from the 214. He really lives in the cliff. If you come to the crib, you know what I'm saying. I get you just water. we gonna beep out just water. We're gonna say just water. Look, just a water.
Get you some pause water.
Yeah, get you the poop water. But yeah, but yeah, back to the thing. Yeah, I was like, okay, that was kind of odd. Like, I understand you had to bring the dynamic, but I was like, saying that a 30-40 minute car ride brought them together like
So
that was kind of crazy.
what I'll say is they probably did have a good conversation because they're both, talkative, they both open, and they probably was laughing and all that good stuff. I think when they pulled up to the gate and Jazz was like, "Oh snap, like this how you live it?" And then when he got that's gonna be 200 for the ride. He
Yeah,
got the money. He got the money with no hesitation. He was like, "Oh, this might be a cash cow type situation. Like,
and
hey,
it was.
if you need anything, call me." Like,
I'm gonna spin the block. I'm gonna spin the block real quick. So at the end, when Will was calling himself trying to escape back to Philadelphia, they stopped him at the door and they gave him another $100 to leave.
right, like he racking up at this point. Like
he said, "Sorry, Will, you go ahead and go back inside to
Yeah.
your billionaire family here, and I'll see you when I see you."
next time, next time, I'll be a little even more slow to make sure I get another 100 to just to come up here, just to come up here and then go see these beautiful mountains and go back down. Like,
Go back to the hood,
right,
where none of this is happening.
right. And then for Will, you a fish out of water. This is the first person you had an actual real conversation with, and you around a bunch of stuck up people. So that's why I'm willing to accept it.
Yeah, I feel that
on
too.
that level, at the very least. So, how do you feel about the actor though?
Jazz, he was cool. Jazz, I like the guy who played Jazz. He was pretty cool.
Okay.
We gotta get the four.
Let's get to the family.
It was pretty funny.
All
but
right. In the introductions in the pilot, like who, what stood out for you as far as the rest of the family?
Okay, I'm gonna break down everybody really, really quick. Hillary, I was glad she wasn't ditzy. Like I said, we'll get more into Hillary.
A lot. I got a lot to say.
The only problem I did have with Vivian, outside of them calling her Viv, which is weird.
Okay.
Because Uncle Phil also calls her Viv, and they always established each other as Vivian and Philip when they talked.
You're right.
So I thought it was very weird that they called each other Viv and Phil. But anyway, I did not like that Vivian came off as kind of submissive.
In the first episode?
Yes.
I did.
Yes, Phil.
I did feel there was a lot of her being a housewife type vibes.
Yeah. Even though it took Hillary to say she was an art teacher.
Right.
Like she actually taught art at a university for me to not be like, oh, she just stays at home.
It's funny because, obviously there's 4 episodes out now. In the early episodes, I was kind of questioning what they were doing with Aunt Viv, but by the time we get to the later episodes, I see where we're going now. But we'll get to that. Okay, initial introduction. My first impression of Aunt Viv was she's gonna be the bridge for Will because she's from Philly and she's been through this adjustment. Like she's gonna keep him from completely losing it.
And that was the funny. I was gonna say weirdest, but that was the funniest part to me. She straight up had to explain that to Will.
Yeah,
she had to be like, "Oh, you think I don't want to use Philly slang? You think I don't want to act like this? But I can't because I live here. This is my husband. These are my kids. We live in this big old house,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Next to Dr. Dre or whoever's next door." And you think I don't want to act a fool? I can't act a fool. You just gotta do your thing, but you gotta understand. You gotta respect the space of others as well. So I did give her that. I'm like, okay, you are schooling Will on how to adapt in this new environment, which is cool. Phil, I like as much as Uncle Phil couldn't stand Will. This Uncle Phil just straight up detested Will. It felt like
he came in with some judgment, like immediately.
Yes. Like you bailed him out. Like it was very cut and dry with him. It was like the only reason you're out here is because I bailed you out with my pool over a gun charge. So he's already he's thinking Philadelphia thug.
Right.
That's it. And I'm just like, no, Phil was a little more cerebral than that. He's like, okay, I know this kid has both. I know this kid has potential. He's more than just because of course the first thing they show you is that he made a 97 on his test.
Exactly.
So of course Phil knows he's a smart kid, but none of that came off at the beginning. I was like, what? Like,
yeah, it was like, why would you? It felt like, why would you stick your neck out for this kid if you thought that he was just
not worth it? Yeah,
like what did Aunt Viv do to you before she asked you for that? That you made that happen.
That you said okay, yeah, that you said
yes,
okay.
and now you got clear mind.
Yeah,
you're like, hold on,
you
what have I
regretting
done?
it. Moment of clarity, as they call it.
Right. All right. The last thing we need to hit. We might need to hit two things.
I was say Ashley. I was like Ashley. I'm still trying to weed Ashley out.
I didn't get nothing from Ashley in the first episode.
Not like again. Ashley had more personality than that in the original.
I'm wondering how that's gonna be handled going forward.
And we're about to get in that because there actually is something that happened where it's like okay, but it still didn't make sense. But again, we'll get to it later. Carlton.
Okay.
Like I said off mic before we even started this, Carlton being that much of a hater to Will didn't make any sense to me. Like how he just came at him about how he didn't take his clothes, he borrowed them.
Right.
That's
one. They were given to him
by your sister.
Right.
He ransacked his closet. The second thing, you're here for. I heard you're here for a better education. Yes. One day we're going to talk about why you're really here. As if he already had an inkling of like, oh no, you a thug. You had the gunshot. I'm like, he was one of the best basketball players in Philadelphia. Why would he?
I think, and that's where, and again, we don't really get the answer till the fourth episode, but that was my thinking, is that he actually knew, and he was like, I'll go ahead and play along, but we're gonna talk about the real reason. You know what I mean? Like it felt like you said, like he had some type of idea as to what it actually was, but he apparently did not. We learned later. I think for me, Carlton's rivalry, Carlton's immediate feelings toward Will come off as territorial. He's the only young male in the house, and now here's another young male coming around.
That's funny.
That's in the house.
There's two things there.
School too. Right.
There's two things there. One, Vivian said that.
She did. Yep, she did.
Vivian said that. And second is the weirdest thing about him being that way towards Will was what he told his sisters. He always wanted a brother, but he ended up with them too.
Exactly.
So it's like you have him there and you ain't
even giving him a chance.
Exactly. That's why I said that was funny. I was like,
he immediately put the defenses up.
I was like, yes, you are right. He was territorial because his mother said so.
But with that said, you remember when was it Nikki came around?
Yeah. He's talking about the inheritance.
Carlton was trying to mold him into a little him.
Yes.
He couldn't mold Will. Will was already fully fledged.
Yeah.
So he wanted somebody he could model and tell, give examples to. This is how you do it. And that wasn't going. That he realized pretty quickly. Will
the Fabulous Banks Boys,
right?
Nikki, do you like your clothes? I HATE them. Yeah, he wanted him to be him so bad.
Right.
So yeah, it was a little inkling of that. So a few other things.
Nikki probably not going to show up in this show.
Of course. Wouldn't that be weird if there's a baby randomly like in episode 5? I'm pregnant. I'm like, when was Vivian pregnant in the first 4 episodes in the middle of this campaign? When was she pregnant?
Oh man, good times. So
that would be odd.
Should we talk about Lisa or should we move forward?
Oh, we're gonna talk about Lisa real quick.
All
because
right.
This is this story.
The end of the episode.
Yeah, this story is absolutely insane because, of course, a lot of the characters' names did not change, but Lisa Wilkes is not like she didn't meet Will like at ULA or anything like that. Lisa Wilkes in this series is Carlton's ex-girlfriend. Yeah, that blew me because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they added a little angle there.
Yeah, because it used to be funny. Remember, Carter used to flirt with Lisa in the original series. So I was like, so in this universe,
This
he
universe,
actually got Lisa.
because he's not the same Carlton. He's not the cornball Carlton that we used to. He big man on campus Carlton. So now he pulling Lisa. So
it was wild. It was a wild situation.
I mess with it, and you know, again, when we get more into the backstory, we learn why that probably happened. But yeah, the initial connection between her and Will, I felt like they moved very quickly. Yes, that it felt like she should be way more defensive, like have her guard up a little bit more based on her situation.
She was putting him on game day one.
Immediately.
No. I'm sorry. Not
conversation one. Yeah, conversation one. Like, whoa, like where is all this coming from?
He
like,
wanted a Philly cheese, and she was like, yes, that man can actually make you a Philly cheese. Excuse me? Who are you again? Who are you?
And we are friends now. Like,
right, yeah, that's pretty much what that came off.
But he likes food. All right, yeah, we good.
We at the hip now. You know what I'm saying? We freaking frat. And we like Marley and Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like she was something.
Yeah. So how do you feel about her character though? So far, I can't compare her to the character from the original. I feel like
of course that's what I'm saying. Like this is a completely new Lisa.
Yeah.
Same name, different situation everything. Because
different everything.
Yeah. But I don't. I mean, like I said, we don't gonna get on the physical, but I mean, it's cool. She's just a regular gal. Swim team, trying to make to the Olympics. Like she has this different goal in mind. She's a scholarship kid,
right? Like she's not supposed to be there.
She's not even supposed to be there in the first place. She always has the ethnic hairstyle, as the others say. She's always had the braids or something like that. So, like I said, I like the character, but I just don't like that she really did move too fast with Will. If you want to get to Connor.
We can go to Connor real quick.
Oh, Connor. They were listening to Bobby Shmurda. If you know the song, the Anglo-Saxons were not censoring themselves during this particular Bobby Shmurda song. And young Willard overheard this, and it wasn't nice.
Did not approve.
And this is where I had the ultimate problem with Carlton.
Okay.
Because I've been in a situation where I've seen this happen to where I was disgusted. Carlton hit Will with, "What's the big deal?" And Connor looked at him, "Yeah, what's the big deal? And what are you going to do about it?" You and me both. Like, like, that was the part that took you out too. Like, yeah.
I mean, all right. So here's what I'm gonna ask. How did you feel about that angle for Carlton?
It took what Carlton was assumed as when he was on the original series to like 11. They cranked it all the way up. He went from just being like a quote unquote Oreo to a straight up coon.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Because he looked at Will like he was wrong.
Right. Like, Will, why are you upset?
It's just a word. Thank you. That's exactly what he said. And I'm like, you had like, you know how you look around like there's a camera in your life. That's how I looked around. Like, is he serious right now? Like, I mean, you're in a group of them saying this word, and you're just doing this Shmurda dance like it's all gravy. It was sick.
And you know what's funny? Because I've been in that situation where Connors were trying to say it and thought it was cool, and were appalled, shocked that I took offense and told him to shut up.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you look at Carlton, you look at his life. He's never been called that to his face by somebody. He's never had to deal with, like the police brutality and being a reality for his life and the threat of going into the wrong place. Like he belongs everywhere. So of course he doesn't feel like he has a reason to be offended by that. It's just he's living a different life. And
Life of
that's
privilege.
and that's the only reason like that scene made, it made sense because there are Carltons out there.
Yeah.
There are a ton of Carltons out there
where they think that it's not about the color of your skin, it's about the green in your pocket.
right. You
as long as you have that, everybody's cool.
And then as soon as they get into one of them situations, they don't know what to do because they never experienced it before.
That's why it's always okay, okie dokie, and it's like
it's till it's not. Cool. It's till it's not. So yeah, I thought that scene was interesting. It established Connor as a piece of crap. It established Carlton as a cornball at the very least, and Will kind of knew where he stood with that. So then we go to the party. The end of the episode, we go to the party. All these things come to a head. Carlton and Will have made an agreement. We're gonna get along because the parents are aware that they're not. And we're gonna go to the party. We're gonna each do our own thing, and then we're gonna come back and pretend we had a great time together. And that went south almost immediately.
Because again, back to the escalation of Lisa and Will. They went from hanging out, talking, chilling. And the first thing, and this is when we'll reveal Carlton's new favorite activity that is not the allegaroos. So Carlton has not an addiction. He has an adoration for.
Are we sure it's not an addiction?
Because he's done it almost every episode. That's why I said right now. We'll just say he has a love,
an affinity.
Yes, for snorting Xanax. He said.
I think so.
Xannies. Yeah, I think he says she's snorting Xannies. Even though I'm looking at him like Will is a kid from Philadelphia. I think he knows Xannies, and
it's not cocaine. Will.
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say. Christina Aguilera. I think that Will would know the difference between the two, whether he was clean or not. I think he'd be like, "Yeah, you sure that's Xannies, my boy? You sure?" So in a bender with Connor, who had just already offended him, and that's why Carlton was defending him, because he does these things with Connor. He sees Will across the pool with Lisa. And again, back to the escalation of their relationship. They're making out.
In broad public.
Yeah.
On a stage.
This is like probably 48 hours of knowing each other.
If that, yeah.
If that, we don't know
like
the time.
Their second time seeing each other, second or third.
Yes, this is my second time.
So
that was one heck of a dance.
No time wasted. They making out, broad public for everybody. We've established this is Carlton's ex. We've established that he's under the influence of several things.
Oh yeah, he was drinking too. Thank you. So yes, it was several things.
So that
he's beelines to the other end of the pool. And that pool looked huge, but he got there like in a record time. He's like the ultimate Xanny.
He is an athlete.
Walking champion. Yeah, he's a lacrosse. He's a lacrosse athlete. So he gets across that field pretty fast. He pushes Will in the pool with Air Jordan 1s.
You would notice that.
Of course. And then while Will is going through this sequence of reaching for his crown, which is the theme of Bel Air, is him wearing his crown and wearing it proudly. He's reaching for it, and then Lisa comes to save him. He gets out of the pool. Yes, and he had already established that when she asked him about why didn't you get in the pool with me. He already told her he can't swim.
Right.
So she goes and rescues him. And that's pretty much where the episode kind of ends because he ends up in Jordan 7s.
It didn't
Somewhere in the
quite
pool
end.
was some more sneakers.
Time out. I
Somewhere in the
didn't
pool.
realize. I didn't realize where you were going with the sneaker thing. Now I realize
It was a different pair of J's on.
that they did not keep him in the soaking wet sneakers. They just gave him a random other pair of Jordan. Okay.
Like, yeah, it was like literally he had like a full foot locker underneath that pool for a man who can't swim. It was wild. So we fast forward to
go into your closet
right
if
there.
you have a pair of Jordan 1s, add water and see if they turn into 7s. That's
boy. Well, if I could do that, I'm finna go through all my stuff, see if I can change my J's. I'm like, bro, I didn't even have to buy these. I just throw some water on them like a TikTok video. But anyway, fast forward to 2 is where we start with that scene.
Well, no, it actually is in season 1. Episode 1. You missed like he
the punch.
He dropped Connor, and then
wait a minute.
Carlton.
I thought the punch was in the next. Oh,
it's in the first one. It's in the first one. Because I stopped after the first one. I stopped after the first one.
Because that was the recap is where it looks so weird because the recap, they changed everything. It wasn't the dramatic.
Yeah.
It wasn't the dramatic scene. It just showed her saving him. Okay, that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So he dropped Connor and then walks up to Carlton, and Carlton, he hesitates, but then he starts to swing at Carlton, and then the episode ends.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then that starts. Okay, and that's where episode 2 begins, where they find out they went viral. And that's how the whole pact between them getting by to where their parents / aunt and uncle trust them.
Right.
So and luckily the video didn't get out too much to ruin Phil's campaign. And the reason we know that is because Phil tells us that at the breakfast table.
I'm trying to figure out because my notes immediately go to Will finding out about Trey.
Oh yeah,
so
Trey.
How quickly into the episode does that happen? Because I feel like they established that they saw the video, but it didn't fully get out, and then we almost immediately get to Trey. The way I did these notes.
The way your notes are correct because literally once they get home.
Oh, they send Will upstairs. They send him to separate places, and then when they go to talk to Will,
he's crying.
Talk to Will, he turns around crying.
Yeah, he's crying at the window.
Okay.
And they said that his friend Trey got shot.
But here, all right. So now this is where I get to bring up my gripe. When Will turns around from the window, he says, "I got off the phone with my mom, who works in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Trey got shot. They're not sure if he's gonna make it."
I know where you're going because
5 minutes later,
he says,
"Was it the next? It was supposed to be the next morning because it cuts out after that."
Yes, and the next
it comes back.
Says,
"The bullet went straight through his
shoulder." Yes.
And now I'm fast forwarding. Now later when we see him, it's not even like shoulder. It's like at the top of his trap. Like it's a little dot on the top of his trap. Like did he get shot with a BB gun? Like what did he get shot with? Like what is going on?
They shot him from a distance.
Right. And then he's supposed to be laid up in the hospital. Like, boy, that's a flesh wound.
And what's so sick? He was already at home.
He was supposed to be in the hospital for at least a couple. Oh no, you're right. Because
because
he wasn't answering Will's calls. He wasn't answering Will's calls.
And then when he answered them, he was at home.
Because I think when he wasn't answering, I just assumed he was in a hospital bed. But when he actually answered, he was like, "Oh, I was ignoring you. I'm chilling.
I'm mad at you because I got shot.
And I got this Band-Aid on my shoulder for this little BB gun pellet that went through." Like, come on, man. They said we not sure if we go. I don't know. I gotta go double check if my man Matthew Cherry was directing the episode, but they could at least put the bullet wound lower. Dang, the boy barely got pinched.
Could have ATL'd him.
I ain't never been shot before. But
that's what I'm saying. You think they could have ATL'd him?
I think when you get like a little piece of meat hit in your upper arm, you know whether or not you're dying. Like at the hospital, your medical field mother would at least be able to say he's gonna be all right. It's a flesh wound.
No,
she wouldn't tell her son, "Yeah, I don't know if Trey gonna make it." Like, I don't know how dramatic he was being about it or what. Like, oh, I'm dying. Maybe she just walked by. He was, oh, I ain't gonna make it. Oh Lord, it's the big one. And she just went with it. That's the only thing I can
Boys
think
in
of.
the hood. Boys in the stay up, Kane.
But that bothered me a little bit. Maybe they changed their
That
mind.
Boys in the Hood Minister Society. My
They
bad.
were like, wait, we can't kill him yet. Let's change that. But then they forgot to change that first scene. They had to make it dramatic. I don't know. Anything else you want to say about any part of that, or we could move forward?
Then that was again. That's where it went into like, okay, Uncle Phil shows him some kind of sympathy or empathy,
right? In that moment, because he was pissed before that, but as
literally moments before, like, why is he here and why are we doing this for him? Finds out his friend got put this in quotation, smoked, because he didn't. And now he's like, oh my goodness, I'm glad we saved this urban youth.
Right, like, that's why he's
from the hood.
That's why he's here, so he doesn't get shot. Okay,
yeah, we forgot like that we literally saved him from
murder,
his untimely demise. So yeah,
my wife mourning her nephews would not be a good thing. That's right. That's why he's here. Yeah. Okay. Moving forward, he goes to school. As we've established.
Oh, no. Before you fast forward, he talks to his mom because he's nervous about school. She tells him to be himself. Fast forward to him going to school. Oh, first day, Carlton leaves him due to the fight and his interaction with Connor. So he ends up having to use Aunt Viv's car to get to and from school, which I'm going to give you guys a little insight. Will and Carlton never go to school together. He is consistently riding Aunt Viv's car to school.
Are you talking about in the show? In this new show?
Yes.
She just gave him a Lexus.
Gave him a Lexus coupe. Not a Lexus coupe, a Lexus truck.
Out of the blue. For no, like, he was supposed to ride with Will. He left Will. I mean, he was supposed to ride with Carlton. Carlton left him. And then she was like, here's a Lexus. And that was that.
And basically, he has not ridden with Carlton yet. At all.
No, not even close. And I can't see it happening at this point.
Yeah, so
he gets to school. I don't know why he wasn't going to the office. He goes into a random building.
Yes.
Like, no hesitation.
And he's sitting there.
He goes into the classroom. Like, I didn't see him look at no paper. Like, this is the room I'm supposed to be in. This is the building. He just walks into a random building, walks into a random room, sits down. Nobody's in the building.
Nobody's in the building.
Lights weren't even on in the hallway.
Lights weren't on in the classroom.
Yeah, like, no, he just chilling in a random ass room. And
he realized he's not supposed to be there.
This is wrong. So then he starts to leave. He sees a security guard and books it because PTSD or something.
Yes.
Runs on the stage with Carlton, gets put on the spot. Carlton treats him like a charity case, saying that he wants the initiative for the junior class to be to take on an inner city child or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And uses Will as an example of an inner city child with no privileges.
Shout out to that one guy who said, "Look at my African American here. Isn't he great?"
pretty much.
That's pretty much what he said to Will. Yeah.
And Lisa, I think, was uncomfortable with it. I couldn't tell if anybody else was around her was uncomfortable with it.
Everybody was confused.
Yeah, everybody.
Her and her friend on the swim team was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. Carlton was wilding, but he did.
Shout out to that to her to the other chick on the swim team that she was always.
Has
cool
she
with
said a word yet?
No, that's just what I was about to say. Has literally said nothing.
I mean, hopefully they paying her good for her just being there.
Yeah,
like, but
they gave her that 95% of communication is not
right. So Will makes it to a actual classroom with students and a teacher, and he meets a guy named Tyler. How you feel about Tyler?
Tyler actually was the first person to actually low-key care about Will that was not Jazz.
Yeah.
That's the sick part. Especially when he found out Will was cool, not only cool, but he was smart.
Right.
So he did. So again, his mom was right. His aunt was right. he did belong there. And that's the reason he was there. Not just because of the gun charge,
Right.
but because he actually is worthy of being there because he was in his environment.
Yeah. And that's one thing I was worried about is like, how long is he going to feel isolated at the school? Like, I was worried that they would drag that out. Like, it would take him a while to find people that actually
Like every day
they
was
can
going to be him just
communicate.
throwing his book back down, talking about,
Man, I don't belong here.
I need another, man, I can't do this another day. Yeah, I thought it was going to be one of those situations too. Thank
So when
goodness
he
it
sees
wasn't.
Tyler B as the teacher, like there's an immediate connection there. And they end up clicking. Tyler's on the basketball team, we find out later, which works out perfectly. What else do we have? He goes to the basketball coach, has a conversation with him about joining the team. I thought the coach was cool. How'd you feel about the coach on the introduction?
On the introduction, he was not cool.
You didn't think so?
He straight denied him. He was like, yeah, I saw what you did. I don't want that on my team.
You gotta think, like, his first impression of him is this video he saw.
Yeah, it's him basically knocking out
the star lacrosse player.
2-star athletes.
Right. He's like, you decked two star lacrosse players already. Like, that's my first impression of you. I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah, that was the only part where I was like, I said,
okay. Yeah, I was worried at first.
Another one. Like Will is gaining more enemies than Tony Soprano in season 1 of The Sopranos. Like, this is sick.
It's a political environment. That's the thing. And I think he has to learn those lessons the hard way. Like, your reputation cannot precede you in that way. Like, you got to make good impressions on people to stick around, because they will shut you out. Nobody wants to be tied to somebody they think is problematic in those.
Because this is the sick part about Will. Again, Will was a top basketball player in Philly. So he was straight up telling them, what you mean? I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I got House of Highlights. I got mixtapes. I literally have you literally
right.
know that I am.
I know you Googled
top basketball. Exactly. I'm one of the top basketball players in the country.
You knew who I was when I walked in this gym. Like,
and then he was just like, but that one video, look, them House of Highlight videos are cool. But this one video I just saw you literally a day ago,
right,
is the reason you can't be on my team.
And I respect it personally. I respect it.
Yeah, me too.
But because he quickly went to, if you're gonna be here, I want you to try out. So it wasn't like he had to fight him necessarily. It was like, hey, I know what you're capable of on the basketball court and off it. I'm not gonna immediately shut you down, but I'm letting you know I can't have that if you want to be on my team. And at the same time, I'm not going to just place you on my team because I know who you are. I want you to come out here and show these boys who you are, because that's what that really was about.
Yeah.
You can't just plug a player onto a team and say, hey, we got this guy from Philly. He's a D1 prospect. Nah, you got to get in the trenches with the boys, show them that you're a real player, show them that you're a team player, and then you can be integrated into the squad. So I appreciated that personally as a basketball person.
Yeah, he said the attitude has to,
And I think Tyler put him on game as well, as far as who the coach is. Straight shooter, all work. As long as you put in the work, don't celebrate, none of that. Like,
that's the first thing he told him. Like, not one shot. Yeah. Because it was funny that he said that, because when they showed him playing basketball at West Philly, that's literally what he did after every play.
Exactly. And I'm guessing
even when he dunked on that one guy, when he dunked on that one guy, he pretty much did what is it Sharif? That all have names similar. The O'Neal, the oldest O'Neal, who
Sharif,
when Sharif said he literally did the same thing
exactly
in a basketball game. So he was like, you can't do that here.
Right.
Once you make the shot, you get back on defense.
And it was funny because in the tryout, he had a moment where he
almost did it,
and he started to flex, and he caught himself.
He said, okay, and I gotta keep going. He went right back on D. I was like, good.
So I like that. So he gets on the team and flexes to Carlton, and there's some drugs end up in his bag.
Yep.
How did I mean?
And that part was sick because I mean, it didn't make sense because remember they had to find the videotape and all of these things, and
They
they'd
didn't do
already
that
put.
first.
They did not do that. That's what I'm saying. They did not do any of that.
Okay.
Because that's where it kind of looked crazy to me because I'm like, so who told the guy to check Will?
And that's the part that was throwing me off. The only thing I could think, that was the same guy that had chased him out of the building. So I don't know if he thought he stole something out of there or what. But yeah, that's I don't. And actually, you know what? We know who did it because we know who planted it.
Yeah,
Connor.
Yeah, Connor basically saying, "You want to check that guy?"
So Connor put
he's
some
selling
drugs
dope,
on him.
or he's doing dope. Yeah.
Told the dude check his bag, and then told Carlton, "Told you I take care of it." And Carlton's old Carlton.
Listen. Okay.
Carlton was gonna let it ride.
He didn't just let it ride. What it was, how do I word this? What it was that he liked that it happened, but he didn't like the way that it happened because he said if they get, but it was also self-preservation of why he didn't like that he went that far.
Right.
Because he said, if it comes back on me, not only do I got to deal with deal with the school, and whatever happens to you, because whatever happens to you, that's Mr. White privilege. I think his dad, he said, was a federal judge or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, that falls back on me. Yeah, my parents are a professor and an attorney, but they're also black. You think it's gonna be the same when you go home, Connor, and when I go home, it's not gonna be the same.
Like for a moment, he remembered he was black, and
yeah, for that was the moment he probably realized. Ding!
Yeah.
That's what Will's been trying to tell me. I'm black.
And the sad part is, when I saw his reaction, my initial thought was that and I don't know why I thought this based on the previous episode, what happened with the N-word thing, that he was like, you can't plant drugs on a black man. That's going to ruin him completely.
No.
But no, it was completely self-preservation.
Yeah, he was like, what if it comes back on me?
My parents will figure this out.
Yeah, and they fast forward, they did.
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
We're moving to episode 3 now. So episode 3 begins with Will saying, I didn't have no drugs. I didn't have no time to have no drugs.
He barely got to Los Angeles.
Right. Like I've been playing basketball. Right. Like I've been playing basketball. I don't know anybody. Like y'all think it's like Uber crack? Like what are we doing?
they just put coke on the thing. Like, hey man, like once you get into school, you got to decide if you're gonna say yes or no. He's like, I'll take his and the guy behind me, and then just put him in bed.
So, Will's like, ain't no way I did this. Carlton's like, I don't know who could have done it. It wasn't me. And Connor wouldn't do such a thing.
Yeah, that pissed me off. But what the sick part was, only Vivian realized who this boy would have known in the past few days he's been here to give him something.
He ain't never had a drug yet in his life. Yeah. He got to LA and immediately was like, I want to do drugs now.
I'm trying. You know what? Charlie Sheen makes it seem pretty cool. I think I should do this.
I'm just trying to fit in, man. I'm just trying to fit in.
This is what they do. I'm rich now. I'm doing what the rich guys do.
I hate that they got that dramatic that quick.
Yeah.
And he's already had several situations in 2 episodes now. Like he's got a fight at a public party. He's getting embarrassed on stage. He's made the basketball team, and now he's got drugs in his bag, like all in 2 episodes. So 3rd episode, Aunt Viv, Uncle Phil go to the school and they talk to the principal. What was your investigation? Oh, we talked to a couple students. We talked to a couple teachers about his conduct. Like he's been here 1 day. Who the hell knows him to have any opinion on who he is as a person?
And the first thing he did when he was in a class, he made a good grade.
Right. Like he made
so what was that suspicious? That was suspicious. This guy's
like,
making A's.
Like
he's obviously on drugs.
Teacher was like, you don't have to take the test. And he was like, no, I want to take the test. And the teacher was like, a student that actually wants to learn. It's like, come on, man. That's the teacher you talked to. That's the impression that he gave. He told him that he's pushing drugs or buying it.
He's very studious.
So I don't.
That means he does drugs.
What? I don't understand. But they go in there, they call bullshit on the investigation. I think Aunt Viv pointed out, I saw 15 cameras on the way in. Did y'all check the cameras? Oh, we didn't feel the need to. We saw black men with drugs and said, yep, that adds up. And that was the end of that. So he was shaking. He was twerking out there, trying to figure out what to do with himself. They were gonna look at the cameras.
Oh yeah, rewind real quick.
Okay.
Before Viv and Uncle Phil went in to litigate for young Will. He was drawing an ISS. He is already an ISS. Of course, they don't send it because they've on the other side of the spectrum. They've realized that sending a kid home isn't the best thing to do to punish them. No, so he was in ISS and he was drawing. The teacher, the ISS, I want to say teacher, whatever
he was, yeah.
He said no drawing, no doodling, only schoolwork. He rips his paper, throws it in a garbage can, and says swish, basically mocking that Will Smith is on the basketball team.
I thought it was funny personally.
I thought it was funny, but a litlittle bit of me heard that song.
Oh God.
I said, oh, not the soulful Negro choir.
The other part of that is he's been in school for all of a day. Like, what work is he supposed to have? Like, come on.
Exactly. Man. I was like, y'all just suspended the dude before he even got through his first full day.
He didn't even finish the day. Like, come on, you see one teacher. Like, come on, man. But yeah, that was a funny scene. And so next thing you know, someone came forward. It was a guy who doesn't even go to the school, so we didn't look at the cameras because Connor's family has pool. Yeah, I don't know if they actually found the dude to take the fall or what, but it was like, all right, it wasn't him, and we're gonna let this go. Connor did it, but
Connor's affiliated, but he didn't necessarily per se.
Yeah,
vis-a-vis.
Like they got rid of those tapes for Connor's dad.
They did that ipso facto.
They don't want no smoke with Connor's family, so that went away. Will got out of ISS.
Well, it was funny how Will got out of ISS because Uncle Phil just came in there and said, "Will, gather your things." And the last thing he looked at the ISS teacher and said, "Swish," and he walked out the room because just like me, he was tired of his crap too.
Yeah. So Will is starting to see the other side of life of what powerful family members can do for you. Yeah. Because otherwise he was prepared to do his bid. He didn't do nothing, but he was prepared to ride it out. But Viv and Uncle Phil showed up. I appreciated that scene personally of them.
Me too, because it was finally Vivian acting like Vivian. What I'm gonna do for these last two episodes, for these first two episodes, I'm gonna go into Hillary real quick. Like I said earlier,
let me hit one more thing before you do that.
Okay.
Two things about Will at this school so far. One, the hat. He's wearing the hat cocked to the side. The second thing, he got some sauce on his jacket. He turned it inside
mustard
out.
Straight up.
Why was the inside of the jacket so clean? First of all, not cleanliness, but like nice, like it was fly,
just like in the original series.
But what's up with the dress code? Like, as far as I know, these schools are supposed to be strict about the dress code. Like, he's just doing whatever he wants.
But just like in the original, it didn't make sense to any of us that he got away with that every single day.
That was a comedy. He's supposed to get away with it in comedy. This is supposed to be serious.
Like, dramatic series, and he got away with it again.
Yeah, so that part kind of halfway annoyed me. Like, I get him doing it, but I expected him to be checked for it at some point, and it hasn't occurred at this point yet. But yeah, let's get to the Hillary Aunt Viv dynamic, because that's so far as besides the main storyline, that's probably my favorite thing right now.
So episode 1, you find out again. I was glad that Hillary wasn't ditzy. She's played by the incredible Coco Jones.
South Carolina represent.
There it is. So I knew. Look, I knew. I knew you liked it. So
See,
basically,
I had to sip the sweet tea on that. Like,
let them know you. Look, she was from South Carolina. But yeah, in this one, she's supposed to be taking a break, taking
a gap year.
A gap year. But in reality, she's full on dropped out. This is not revealed until the next episode. But
we can kind of merge all of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just going back and forth. Yeah, I'm going back and forth.
Yeah.
So basically, she cooks for the family. Okay, we're gonna get into Jeffrey. We're gonna get into Jeffrey at 4.
We're gonna close Jeffrey out. Jeffrey gonna close us out.
Yeah, Jeffrey's gonna close us out because every time I see Jeffrey now, it's like on the previous episode of Power.
Yeah, we got to save Jeffrey for last.
Yeah, we gotta save him for last. I'm like, big rich town Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
Jeffrey deserves his own little mini series.
Stay focused.
Okay, so Hillary like cooks for the family, tries out her recipes and things like that. Her mom hooks her up with an interview with a very popular cooking magazine. The magazine says that her food is too spicy and too ethnic for what they're trying to represent in their brand. So she goes on her social media, which she has 75 to 200,000 plus followers.
Yeah, she's an influencer.
Yes, a real one. So she says, "Oh, they told me to tone down my recipes. My recipes are who I am. They were passed down from my mother's mother. So I'm not going to do this for anybody." So she puts that out. Go to the party on the next episode. One of
the
Vivian's
Delta party.
The Delta party. One of Vivian's sorors tells her, "Did you see what your daughter did?" No. What does she do? Tells her about the video. First,
tells her about the interview first.
He tells her about the interview. Then she tells her about the video. And then Vivian is mad at, I'm about to call her Coco. Is mad at Hillary. It's mad at Hillary.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's embarrassed because this friend is the one who set up the interview. Apparently, she works PR for that restaurant. So yeah, she's the one trying to fix the situation.
Culinary magazine. Yeah,
she's the one trying to fix the.
She's like, you don't realize all the work I've had to do in the past since she's posted this video.
Right.
So she storms out. Of course, this is not only her job.
She hasn't apologized to me yet.
And she looked at her and said, "I'm not going to."
Straight up, like that was. I love, again, like you mentioned, her not being ditzy. I love what they did with this character. Her being an influencer, being bubbly, being who she is making the show for me, like almost.
Yeah. So finally, Vivian's like, "I can't believe you did this." Hillary storms off. But again, this is when she actually is acting like the real Vivian. She goes back and actually watches what she says. And she's there with her fellow sorors, and they sat there and said, "Your daughter was right."
Mm-hmm.
Why would she sit there and lie down? Because we know if she was her younger sibling, Carlton.
Oh, Carlton folded.
Oh man, he would have took all the salt, the spices out of the food.
I don't have to put any spices in it. Huh?
You know what? It just tastes good like that. Rightio, and it would have been next. So, but Hillary wasn't playing it. Hillary, she's not on. Well, because she's an influencer, she knows what's going on not only in the culture of influencing,
right,
but in the culture of
society,
us.
Yeah.
So she, so everything Will's doing, she's not, like, oh my God, like I said, the other Hillary was just like Carlton.
Right.
Okay, we're these rich trust fund kids.
She was a valley girl.
Yeah, we're trust fund kids, and we're sitting up here hanging out with this guy fresh off the street. Related or not, they just treated him like just some guy. But this Hillary does not treat him like that. She treats him like, man, you fly, you this, you that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to show that some more. So again, with that, it's the typical mother and daughter. You're right, I'm wrong. I can't believe you don't believe in me. but it's actually a very good story.
Oh, I love it personally. Going back to the exchange with the sorors, the one who stormed out, I thought that was handled perfectly too, because somebody like that, I know black women, black women, she would show up to the party and not
Just
say a
yeah.
word to Ashley about her being upset, just to see what she's going to do. And then by the time she's ready to leave, I was here for 2 hours and she didn't come up to me and blah, 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 and then storm out. That was so realistic. Like I was triggered because I've seen a scene like that go down in my personal life with my mom and like one of my mom's friends. Like I've seen that go down straight up like that. So it was funny to me. And then the other soror seeing the video and saying, you know what, she's right. And then having a whole dialogue about, the things that we've overlooked for our careers. The new generation is not doing that. And they were showing appreciation for it. In that episode, we learned that Aunt Viv was on her way to being a successful artist, or was already a successful artist and then got out of the game.
Yes.
After she got pregnant with Hillary.
You were right with the latter, because remember what she said.
She did go.
He was taking Phil. Yeah,
right.
She was taking.
She was
Phil was her plus
was
one.
Big time. Exactly.
Not the other way around like it is now.
And
during that campaign.
That is a common story as well in our Black relationships. Is the woman is established, the woman helps build the man up, and then eventually the man gets on top or whatever, as far as being the breadwinner. That happens a lot. A lot of power, like Obama. Look, the Obamas.
Yeah.
Michelle was established. She built Barack up, and then Barack became the president. And people look at Michelle as his attachment versus the other way around. So I like that they've done that with the Banks.
You got me thinking about like black. You got me looking at like just black couples that's happened to.
It's a lot. It's
a lot. Shout out to John David Washington. And you know where I'm going with this. That John David Washington always brings up about his mom.
Mm-hmm.
That my mom was a singer and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Before Denzel was Denzel,
right?
Pauletta was the one.
And I love that too. I like that you brought that up, because I love that too, because I never even thought about Denzel having a wife until I started listening to John David Washington interviews, and I was like, you know what, I love this for that family. Denzel's got enough love.
He was like, nah, it's all about Pauletta. Exactly. And I can name like a million, like, well, not a million and one songs, but I can name a few songs from Pauletta Washington. She was on the Philadelphia soundtrack. So that's one song right there. And I'm trying to think of the other one right now, but this isn't about the Washington. I'm
about to say that we could go on a tangent
about Bel Air.
But I like that they introduced that dynamic, because it makes sense why Vivian.
It's a realistic thing. Like I said, the realism in this show is one thing that stands out.
Yeah. And it again explains the Hillary Vivian dynamic, because Vivian was a businesswoman. She was on her way in the world, making it, and it was derailed. We'll say derailed. It was her status changed. Her situation changed once she got pregnant with Hillary. So now she is hardlining on making sure Hillary stays on track and ignoring what Hillary actually wants for herself in the process. Again, a common trait in these families and dynamics and relationships. You want to steer your kids you have a plan for where you think your kids are supposed to go, the steps they're supposed to take to get there. And she's seeing Hillary not take those steps the way she wanted her to.
Yeah.
And it's bothering her because of, I gave up my dream to birth you and bring you into this world and give you the life that you now have, you're on track to, and now I feel like you're throwing it away.
Because the thing that she does in this whole situation, she looks at Hillary and says, you need to get out of here.
Yeah. Didn't her friend tell her that? Didn't her friends tell her that? Like, you got to push him out the nest?
Yeah. And once she said that, Vivian straight up said, yeah, you need to go. So awesome segue to episode 3. So episode 3 shows Hillary looking through influencer houses, doing these interviews, and it's the same thing. She's too black for them.
Mm-hmm.
Every single influencer house is saying the same thing. we don't think you'll belong because we do this and you do that. And she's like, I have probably more followers than half the people at home. What do you mean? Like, I will
Right.
bring you more viewers, more followers, and things like that. And they still told her no. So her mom's thinking she's failing, but in reality,
So even the
she's
black girl, I
being
think, gave her like a crazy
yeah,
bump.
because this is what it was. And this is how I depicted that scene. Because you saw how the sister was natural, had the natural locks, and had the bricks on the apartment wall. You know, somewhere was the spiral blanket on the wall. you know, somewhere in there was a tie-dye or something like that. You know, it was in there.
Oh man.
So she basically was like, okay, I'm too black for these Anglo influencers, but I'm too rich, and in their minds, I'm
to
too
keep it real.
white for my fellow black creators. And that's literally how I took that scene, because she looked at her like, okay, we do this. Why we want some rich chick from Bel Air to live here with us?
Like, she didn't fit anywhere. Like, they showed a various types of people, and none of them were like, you can't sit with us. So I thought that was an interesting scene as well.
But that was like the craziest one was the sister. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just because the sister got a little money,
completely
don't belong.
Yeah. Is there anything else we need to hit with Hillary?
Oh no, that was it. That was it. Like I said, I won't get into 4 until we hit 4 all the way.
The influencer thing actually did happen in 4, I think.
4, yeah, 4. There's a story there,
but
there's
that's mostly that's most of it. I think we covered pretty much episode 3. Oh, the game.
I'm about to say 3 is where he hooped.
Yeah, the game. So Will did not start. The whole family went to go see Will,
and they did not.
Let me go back. Let me rewind real quick.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know where you're going.
Will has his first game.
Supposed to split time between Will and Carlton.
Yeah.
They thought maybe Will was either going to start or he was going to play his minutes, and they're going to have time to go over to the lacrosse field for Carlton.
There was 3 things I need to hit on this, actually, now that you mention it. First thing is they're having a lacrosse game, a basketball game, and a swim meet at the same time.
Same time.
They want to stagger that. They want to stagger that a little bit.
That's money. That's a lot of money right there. They must that must have been on like an Olympic Village.
I don't understand. Like exactly. Like how many refs and whatnot y'all got set up? Y'all got ticket stands for everybody? Like what is going on? Or you just buy one ticket to you can go to event hopper? Like what are we doing? But
that's money. You for real.
So like you said, they were supposed to split time. And they immediately go to the basketball game. They see Will's not starting, but they stay there. Meanwhile, not going to the lacrosse game, there was nobody at the lacrosse game at all. And Carlton looks into the stands. He ain't talking about, when he says, where is everybody? He's not talking about his family. There is nobody at the lacrosse game at all. Somebody got the memo out that West Philly Will is about to play for the basketball team. We might actually win a game. And everybody was at the basketball game, including Phil, Vivian, and Hillary.
And
in a swim.
I'll call him Jeffrey St. Patrick.
Was Jeffrey there?
I believe Jeffrey was there.
I don't remember. He probably was. If he probably was, he was there.
Yeah,
he ain't too far.
Yeah, we go. Like I said, y'all, we gonna get
even if he wasn't there, he was there.
He was there because what he says in 4, I'm like, you're not the butler.
Yo,
the butler.
Yo, like what are we doing here? What's
we
going on?
We get a prelude of that
we when he
pops up on Jazz.
We gonna
get there on 4, and we're gonna be like, y'all gonna be like, wait, I didn't notice that. I'm like, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the game.
Will finally goes in.
Will goes in because the team's getting smoked. They're playing Bel Air Prep
Malibu Prep.
or Malibu Prep. Is obviously they're Bel Air. They're playing
Yeah, I'm about
Malibu
to
Prep.
say.
The guy on the other team, was that supposed to be?
I thought it was supposed to be Marcus Stokes, but it wasn't.
Okay, they were acting like it was. I thought they were trying to act like it was. But I was like, please don't let that be who that's supposed to be. Like, not. It's too quick. It's too quick.
It was on the back of his jersey said Williams, so it definitely wasn't Marcus Stokes.
I did see that, but I still couldn't remember. But it was funny because when Will gets in the game, because that kid had been killing the Bel Air boys, and then Will gets in the game, gets a couple buckets, and he's like, "You're not supposed to be there either, are you?" And like they have a moment where it's like we the scholarship kids type of thing. Like, we here because we
the kids from the hood. Yeah, we the kids from the hood.
we here only because of what we can do on this basketball court, type of thing. So they had like a moment, even though they were going at each other, like they had like a moment where they recognized what it was. So I thought that was cool, regardless of if that character is going to be important at any point. But yeah, go ahead. What did you have to say about the game?
But what it was, again, Will was playing extremely well. Again, they kept going back and forth between. Basically, while Will was thriving,
I literally put Will thriving. Oh my
it's because it's true. While Will was thriving, Carlton was literally having a breakdown.
I'm gonna try to see if you can see this. Let's see it.
Will thriving.
Will thriving.
Because there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah,
he ended the game by catching a freaking lob, bro. Like
he was throwing them lobs, dunking.
It was the Showtime Bel Air Prep. Like it was crazy.
He was going crazy out there. Oh man.
So while he was thriving, Carlton literally got ejected from the game
for trying to kill a man.
Basically trying that didn't get to the ref. He was trying to beat the crap out of like whoever. He goes to his locker. And then for a school that has a lot of cameras, how did he not get caught? Getting his oh man, how do you say it? Getting his snort on, snorting
on top of the light. He wasn't even trying to be
on top of the light. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if somebody came in,
like when a kid gets tossed, wouldn't somebody like assistant or something follow him to like make sure he's good, like not in there destroying the locker room? Like
no, he was in there dolo.
Immediately went to the lines. Like, come on, man.
So after that, he gets himself together. He goes to he's like, okay,
he can hear the crowd. He can hear the crowd. Yes. You can hear the crowd.
He literally hears the crowd, and he's like, really? So everybody missed my show, if you will, for this kid, for this guy. So when he sees his dad point at Will after the game, after they won, he says, "That's my nephew."
I was gonna say, like, we didn't hear it, but you could tell that's what he said.
He says, "That's my nephew." Mm-hmm. And Carlton saw him say that after Hillary and Viv were sitting up there clapping for him.
Everybody was going crazy.
Then he looks over and sees Lisa and her friend doing the same thing. And that just ran him hot. He storms out.
Were you at all afraid of him making a scene in that moment? Because I thought that was.
I'm gonna tell you what I thought was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna happen just like the comedy, where he takes the ball, he chucks it across the room.
No, not there.
I thought he was gonna do something stupid.
I thought he was gonna intercept like a pass or like block the shot or something. Like I thought he was coming on the court for real.
Yeah, or he was gonna start swinging that Will on the court.
Right.
I did, but my main part was I'm like, they stupidly put that dumb part when they were on the team together, and he snatched the ball and he like chunks it across.
Don't sleep. He might show up.
Nah, I was like,
if you guys like basketball now. No, they established he's not a hooper.
He's not a hooper. Yeah, that's why I say because he tried, and he said he put the. Remember when Phil and Will were outside, he said he had put that hoop out there for Carlton.
Right.
But Carlton never picked up basketball.
Exactly. So, and I think that was a way to like tell you we're not gonna get to have the full court heave. Like we're not getting that. It's not happening.
We're not gonna get this.
Like go ahead and cancel. If y'all waiting on that, it's not happening. It
ain't happening because he's never gonna hoop.
Maybe it'll happen on the lacrosse field or something, like, but it ain't happening on the basketball.
Takes the mallet and just throws it across thing and he misses.
What was I gonna say? I do have one critique about the basketball scene before we get back to the serious stuff. We've seen 2 basketball games. Both of them ended on buzzer beaters. Like, is this just like, do we think basketball always goes down to the wire and it's all
again? It's television, so okay. I always have to take that because. Yeah, they haven't ran through anybody yet. They haven't straight just hold somebody out yet. Yeah, that kind of bothered me too.
Like he played 1 game in West Philly, hit a buzzer beater. Now he's played 1 game in Bel Air, hit a buzzer beater. Like, come on, man. Like, can we get a regular ass basketball game?
This Will Smith is Kobe freaking Bryant. You let him tell
it. Matthew Cherry played professional football. Like he got to have some swing in the. Come on, y'all. Can we have them win by 5 or something?
Like, yeah, exactly. It's straight up dramatic buzzer beater.
That's not
Sports Center top 10.
Right.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
Now what you just said actually does make a little bit more sense. Well, no, because he could have had a blowout and it still would have been newsworthy. But he gets on the internet based on what happened in this game.
Basically him taking over that game.
Right. He probably had at least 30 of the like 70 points or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like 60 something, like 67, 68.
Yeah, I think it was like 61 to 60 was the final score.
60, yeah, 61 to 60.
Now that you mentioned it. He probably had half the points at least and assisted on like another like 10 to 15. So
because they were down by 5 or more. It was 5 or more. It wasn't that bad.
It was like 10-0 if I'm recalling.
They were, and then when they were kind of like getting back, it still was like they were going to lose that game if they hadn't put them in.
Right. So, and of course, him and Tyler, it got the instant connection. He was throwing lobs to Tyler, and they were dapping each other up, like running a fast break, weave together, all that good stuff. So, I like that.
Them layups.
I like that connection.
He was in layups, dunks.
That dunk was crazy. Like he getting up like that.
Will went viral.
Went in a windmill.
Yes.
and he almost Vince Cartered it. That's the part that was.
He was in there.
Like, all right, now like clearly y'all put that rim down to 8 feet.
He straight up honey dipped it. He straight almost honey dipped it.
Y'all put that rim to 8 feet.
Full elbow.
Bare minimum that hoop was 8 feet. Like, come on, son.
Because he was up there.
The layup was nice, and then next thing I know, he Vince Carter. So
he straight up honey dipped.
I was like, oh, hold up now.
How you do that?
We didn't get up there now. Hold up. And it was like he jogged up to it. Like it wasn't like he was on.
Yeah, it was the dramatic.
Boom! I was, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I was caught off guard by it. So Carlton's envy is building at this point. Should we move to episode 4 now?
Yeah, we're gonna move to episode 4 because episode 4 right now is probably the most interesting because episode 3 ends with Rashad. Someone showing Rashad the highlights of the game, and he said, "I found you." He said some other stuff. Yeah. Because another thing I will for you guys who've been listening, this is definitely not television. This is definitely not the comedy you remember, and this is definitely not NBC. Because there's a lot of cussing in this. There's a lot of
As soon as I heard the N word in the first episode, I was like, okay, we doing TV now.
Yeah, this is TV.
Okay. But yeah, it's raw.
This isn't just cable. This is Peacock. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary because it's more realistic.
Yeah, because it was the I'm trying to think. Oh, excuse my language, but I am not a happy camper. That was like some of the stuff Carlton would say.
Exactly. That is not this show. So yeah, he's established that he knows who he is. Okay, people. Excuse me if I sound very different than I did just a minute ago, but I'm popping in here to tell you that is it for this episode. We did just cover episodes 1 through 3 of Bel Air. Again, our conversation did cover all 4 of the episodes that are out currently. And I got to this point when I was editing, and I said, you know what, this is a good stopping point. So I split it up because I know it's easier to digest in smaller chunks. I split it up. The next episode should be coming a couple hours after the first, so you can just listen to them back to back. And matter of fact, I'll release them both at the same time, which you already know because you can see them on whatever streaming service you get them. So again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation about the first 3 episodes, and I hope you enjoy the conversation about episode 4 next. Thank you for tuning in. Follow me on Twitter at Bibbs Corner for anything sports and all my regular tweets. At Bibbs Film for just movie stuff. And follow Shad at Shad Miller, SHAD 13. And The Uncool Urban. You can follow him on Instagram and Twitter. So until next time, without further ado, I'll get out of your way and you can move on to episode part 2, whatever. You know what? I'm sick. I have a sinus situation going on and my mind is not working at 100%. So please forgive me. I'm sure you've already checked out the episode at this point. I'm just rambling. Bye.